Aloha fellas, doing a little video on tubing bender. This is going to be a 5/8 OD copper tubing bender or conduit bender. You can use anything 5/8, it'll bend it. But me and Steve had a little talk about tubing. This is type L tubing. Whenever you're having a house plumbed, make sure they're using this, the blue letters. You don't want them using the red letter. I think I have a piece of it here, but the wall thickness is about twice as thick on this compared to the type M. And that type M won't last for nothing. Maybe 5 or 10 years if you're lucky. Especially down here next to the ocean. That type M will rot out in no time. But what we got going on here is we got a lab sink, and this slab lateral underneath runs this way between the joists. And I could have drilled, you know, way to this side, but it would have been right next to the pipe either way. Could have ran this 1.5 inches too, but I like to run 2-inch laterals just so if they want to tie something in later they can. But underneath, and I had the fittings for it. It doesn't hurt to oversize. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to make a couple bends in these pipes in my risers. I already got them measured out to my height. So this will go down and be flush with the bottom of the floor joist underneath. And will be at the height up here on my block to mount them for my correct height for my water stub outs. But what I'm trying to do is get out of the way of this pipe. So I'm going to bend these, put a little 45 offset. Actually, it'll probably be like a 15-degree double offset to just get it past those pipes so it's not going down and hitting them. Because if you see, that's on top of the pipe. We want to miss that pipe. Alrighty, let's get to it. Alright, got my measurement marked out. As you see on here, we got degrees. So wherever this is, wherever that stops, this will be the start of your bend, this line. And when that's wherever you want it, you'll bring this around. If you want a 30, bam, 30 degrees. And me, I always like to think about it because I like to put my letters facing out. So I want my bend on this one to go into the letter. See, and the pipe just slides in there. This will hold it when I start to bend it. Find our mark. Line our mark up with that. And here we go. Little 15-degree bend, and you see it starts after the mark. You want to account for that. I should have just marked it where at finished floor and let the bend make up the difference. But yeah, now we're just going to do a 15-degree bend in the opposite direction, and you can kind of figure where it's going to be. With 45s and stuff, it's a lot easier. These different ones are kind of different, but if you wanted a 2-inch bend, let's say, and you go straight up from the 2-inch mark and mark it and then make your bend, and that would give you a 2-inch offset. But I'm just gonna eyeball it. We need about right about a 2-inch bend. just want to make sure your bend is going straight. If you don't line up that bend, it'll be crooked. we go. Little bend. Let's see what we actually got here. It's way less than 2 inches. That's what you get for not measuring. Hopefully it'll work. I screwed that up. I'm gonna have to push those up from downstairs. So I went downstairs, that bend wasn't enough. That's the nice thing, if you start out small, you can increase it. There's ways to measure this stuff, but unlike stuff that would actually matter, if I'm not just trying to miss a pipe, then I would measure it. But this is just, you know, getting it out of the way of that pipe. Increase it to 30. That's more like it. That's about our 2 inches. Beautiful. That's where we want it. I'm going to make the other one. I'm going to mount these, solder on the stub outs, and then once I get the stub out soldered and everything straight how I like it, I will pound these down to height so they're at the height that I want. All right. There's underneath. You can see why I did both of them. I have a clean out down here. I want to block access to it, but see those bends? Get it right out of the way of that pipe. Works out nice. 3x2 combo. Get it high. Okay. There's the inside. Straight. It looks crooked, but I put the level on it and it's straight. It's the stud on the left side is crooked. I hate that. Makes my pipes look crooked. Another good use for these clamps, holding these pipes. Risers from falling through the floor. You're gonna use those stupid little inserts. I'm making some offsets here for this washing machine. Since I had to fit it in this little space here. And got one done. I'm measuring out the second one. And this is how I do it. I got the centers of each holes. I know the offset. I could do the math, but with copper I do it with the drainage pipe. I do all math, but copper it's a little different. But it's 5 1/4 to the center of the hot inlet on this, so get that straight. Measure out 5 1/4, see where it crosses the center line of the pipe. I'm going to call it right above the A. Right there. Double check it. Make sure it's straight. 5 1/4. It's looking pretty good. Alright, there we go. Looks nice and straight. Everything is uniform, everything's bending at the same height. It looks nice. I like it. I gotta put water hammer arresters on here. Our code requires it. So I'm gonna put a couple T's up here. These are just rough cut, but I'm gonna cut off maybe 6 inches and throw 2 T's with a couple bends and get them over to this side, and then put my water hammer arresters right up against that stud. But maybe I'll get a picture of that when it's all done. Got a wet rag on there. Let's see how this goes here. I think it's gonna be okay. Have to let that cool off. Another nice thing about these clamps is you can pick your stuff up after, right after you solder it. You don't have to grab your pliers and try to fiddle around with them. It's already hooked on there. You just grab it. These rubbers will keep it cool. I mean, it won't even burn you up there really. It's starting to get hot. Oh yeah, it's hot up there, but down here it's good. There we go. We got our arresters installed. Kind of funky how I had to do it, but just a little couple bands in there. Get some separation between those. Probably put a little piece of wood back here and mount them. I don't think you even have to though. They're gonna rattle. I will though. Just because that's how I roll. I don't want the call in a year and then get this place all together. Oh, the washing machine, it freaking rattles when it turns off. The hammer arrestor should stop that, but I still got a little play. Yep. Nope. Next is gonna be the shower valve. Framers always love to put a stud right there. It's a little bit off center. That's my setup mark right there. I can squeeze it in there. Check out the view we get today, guys. That's Lanai over there. Maui. Way over there, over the top of that house is Maui. Alright, batteries are dying. You get 10 minutes HD video out of 2 AA batteries. Sad. Nice day. And guess what? It was windy when I left my house, so I never bring my pole. I'm all sick now. Oh well. Alright guys, follow along. It's one of the downsides about living in Hawaii. These little bastards right here. This freaking guy. I was carrying the shower valve up into the house. I felt something wiggle through my fingers. And it was this little guy running out of the box. Good thing he didn't bite me because these frickers are sore, bro. He's only a small one. It's a baby. He's just a baby. Look at that bugger. Those buggers are nasty. Make your freaking hands sore, bro. You don't like to tangle with those. Came right out of the box. Right through my fingers. I felt him wiggle right through my index and my pointer finger. Holy crap. Oh, I got lucky. He could have ran up my arm and just bit the shit out of me all the way up. Me, I'm an ass that killed him. But that's Hawaii. That's one of the parts of living in Hawaii. And these things, they'll get 6 inches, 8 inches long. Big conkers. You know, like fuck with those. Alright. There's that view again for you guys. Aloha.